If you or a loved one relies on Social Security, you need to watch this video. There's a rumor going around right now that seniors won't receive their March 2026 Social Security check, and that kind of worry can steal your sleep at night. But here's what most headlines won't tell you, and if you miss this, you might be stressing over nothing. Stay with Michelle, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what's true, what's false, and when your payment is actually arriving. Before you leave, let Michelle say this from the heart. This channel exists for you. The individual who worked hard, contributed to the system, and deserves straightforward, honest information without fear tactics or complicated language. If Social Security is important to you, if you prefer truth instead of gossip, and if you need someone protecting your benefits like their family, smash that subscribe button right now. Michelle covers these issues for you. Not corporations, not lawmakers, just everyday people who count on their payments every month. First off, let Michelle tackle the big concern everyone's discussing. There's been significant worry and discussion about seniors possibly not getting their March 2026 Social Security payments, and Michelle completely understands why this would create stress. Your Social Security payment is something you've earned through years of dedicated work, and it's income that countless people rely on for necessities like groceries, prescriptions, rent, and bills. When you hear that a check might not arrive, it's normal to feel anxious and want to discover what's actually happening. Now here's what you should know about how Social Security payments actually function, because this understanding will help you interpret any warnings or reports you might encounter. The Social Security Administration, which everybody calls the SSA, operates on a very precise payment calendar that's been established for many years. They don't simply mail out all the payments on the same date to everybody. Instead, they've developed a structure that distributes the payments throughout each month according to your birth date. This arrangement helps them handle the massive job of delivering benefits to tens of millions of Americans every single month. Let Michelle explain how this birth date structure works, so you can always anticipate when to expect your funds. If you were born between the 1st and the 10th day of any month, your Social Security payment lands on the 2nd Wednesday of each month. If your birthday falls between the 11th and the 20th, you'll receive your payment on the 3rd Wednesday. And if you were born between the 21st and the 31st, your check arrives on the 4th Wednesday of the month. There's also a particular category of people who get their payments on the 3rd of each month, and these are individuals who started collecting benefits before May 1997, or people who receive both Social Security and Supplemental Security income, which is called SSI. Now, when we discuss March 2026 specifically, you should look at your calendar and identify those Wednesdays to determine your exact payment date. The way the month lands in 2026, those Wednesday payment dates are going to align in a specific way, and the SSA will follow their standard schedule just like they do every month. They've been handling this for decades, and they're very skilled at maintaining their schedule because they understand how much people depend on these payments showing up on time. Here's something really crucial to grasp about Social Security that might calm your concerns. Social Security is what's called a mandatory federal program, which means Congress has already authorized the funding for it as part of the law. Unlike some other government programs where Congress has to vote each year to allocate money, Social Security benefits are guaranteed by law. The funds come from the Social Security trust funds, which are supplied by the payroll taxes that current workers contribute. This is the same mechanism that financed your benefits based on the taxes you contributed when you were employed. It's a continuous cycle that's been functioning since 1935 when President Franklin Roosevelt signed Social Security into law. Sometimes you might hear reports about the government having budget negotiations or even what they call a government shutdown. And this can sound really frightening if you're questioning whether your payment will still arrive. Let Michelle put your mind at rest about this. Even during a government shutdown, Social Security payments continue to go out on schedule. This has occurred multiple times in the past, and seniors have always received their benefits on time because Social Security is considered essential. The employees who work at the SSA who handle your payments are considered essential workers, which means they keep operating even when other sections of the government might temporarily close. Now, there are some legitimate circumstances where an individual person might not receive their expected Social Security payment, and it's valuable to know about these so you can prevent any issues. One frequent problem happens when someone hasn't updated their mailing address or their bank details with the SSA. If you've relocated and the SSA doesn't know your new address, your paper check might travel to the wrong location. If you've switched banks and haven't informed the SSA about your new account for direct deposit, the payment might get returned. This is why it's so crucial to always inform the SSA immediately when you have any modifications to your contact information or banking details. Another circumstance that can impact your payment is if there are certain legal matters involved. For example, if you owe outstanding taxes to the Internal Revenue Service, the government can sometimes deduct from your Social Security to settle those debts, though there are limits on how much they can take. If you have unpaid child support or alimony, those can also result in funds being removed from your Social Security check. If you're collecting other government benefits and there's been an overpayment that you need to repay, the SSA might decrease your check to recover that money. These are all particular situations that would apply to individual people based on their personal circumstances, not something that would impact all seniors at once. Let Michelle discuss direct deposit for a moment, because this is one of the most significant things you can do to ensure you always receive your money securely and on time. Direct deposit means that instead of receiving a paper check in the mail that you have to bring to the bank, the SSA transmits your payment electronically directly into your bank account. The money simply appears in your account on your payment day, and you can access it right away. This is much safer than paper checks because checks can get misplaced in the mail, they can be taken from your mailbox, or they can get damaged. With direct deposit, there's no waiting and no chance of losing your check. The SSA strongly recommends everyone to use direct deposit, and it's really simple to arrange. You can contact the SSA or visit their website to set it up, and you'll just need your bank account number and the bank's routing number, which you can locate on your checks or by asking your bank. Sometimes people worry about Social Security running out of funds in the future, and you might have heard news reports about this. Let Michelle explain what that's actually about, so you understand the complete picture. The Social Security trust funds have been distributing more money than they're collecting through payroll taxes for the past several years. This is occurring because of demographic shifts in America. We have a lot of baby boomers who are now retired and collecting benefits, and there are fewer workers for each retiree compared to decades ago. According to the Social Security trustees, if nothing changes, the trust funds are projected to be exhausted around 2034 or 2035. But here's the essential thing to understand. Even if the trust funds were completely depleted, Social Security wouldn't just vanish. The program would still have income arriving from payroll taxes that workers are paying. And that money would be sufficient to pay about 75 to 80% of scheduled benefits. So, you'd still receive most of your check. And more significantly, this is years away, and Congress has time to implement changes to prevent this from occurring. They could increase the payroll tax rate. They could raise the limit on how much income gets taxed for Social Security. They could modify the retirement age, or they could make other adjustments. The point is, Social Security isn't going to suddenly stop delivering checks. If you're ever worried about whether you're going to receive a specific payment, there are several methods you can verify this and get accurate information directly from the source. The best place to obtain information is from the SSA itself, not from random websites or social media posts that might be circulating rumors or trying to frighten people. You can create what's called a My Social Security account on the official SSA website. And this gives you access to your personal information. You can see your payment history, verify your benefit amount, confirm your direct deposit information, and even get a copy of your Social Security statement that shows all the earnings you had throughout your working life. This online account is secure, and it's available 24 hours a day, so you can check it whenever you want. If you're not comfortable using the internet, or you don't have access to a computer, you can always contact the SSA directly. Their national toll-free number is available, and you can speak to a representative who can answer your questions and assist you with any concerns about your benefits. Yes, you might have to wait on hold sometimes because they help millions of people, but the representatives are trained to help you, and they have access to your records. You can also visit your local Social Security office in person if you prefer to speak to someone face-to-face. You can find the address of your nearest office on the SSA website or by calling the national number. Let Michelle address some of the scams and misinformation that sometimes circulate because, unfortunately, there are people who try to exploit seniors by creating fear and confusion about Social Security. You might get emails, text messages, or phone calls that claim to be from the SSA saying that your benefits are going to be suspended or that there's a problem with your account. These are almost always scams. The real SSA will generally contact you by mail first, not by phone or email. If someone calls you claiming to be from Social Security and asks you for your Social Security number, your bank account information, or any other personal details, do not give them that information. Hang up and call the real SSA yourself using the official number. Scammers are very cunning, and they can make it appear like they're calling from a legitimate number, but they're attempting to steal your identity or your money. The SSA will never threaten you. They won't demand immediate payment over the phone, and they won't ask you to pay them with gift cards or wire transfers. When you see headlines or warnings about Social Security payments, it's important to think critically about where that information is originating. Is it from the official SSA website? Is it from a reputable news organization that's reporting on an official announcement? Or is it from a random website, a social media post, or an email forward that someone passed around? Unfortunately, there's a lot of clickbait out there where people create alarming headlines just to get attention or to get you to click on their website so they can make money from advertising. The headline might say something scary like, "Seniors won't receive March payments." But when you actually read the full story, it might be discussing a very specific situation that only affects a small number of people, or it might just be speculation about something that could potentially happen in the future under certain circumstances. Your Social Security benefits are protected by law, and millions of Americans receive their payments every single month without any problems. The system is designed to be reliable and consistent. The SSA has been around for nearly 90 years, and it's one of the most successful and popular government programs in American history. It's lifted millions of seniors out of poverty and provided a foundation of financial security for people who've worked hard their whole lives. If there ever were a genuine situation where something was going to affect Social Security payments broadly, you would hear about it through official channels. The SSA would send notices to beneficiaries. It would be covered extensively by major news organizations. Your elected representatives in Congress would be discussing it. It wouldn't just be a rumor or a warning from an unknown source. Real changes to Social Security require action by Congress, and that kind of thing doesn't happen quietly or suddenly. For March 2026, your Social Security payment will arrive according to the regular schedule based on your birth date, just like it does every month. If you're enrolled with direct deposit, the money will appear in your account on your scheduled day. If you receive paper checks, the check will be mailed so that it arrives on or around your scheduled date. The SSA processes these payments automatically using computers, and the system runs very smoothly. If for some reason you don't receive an expected payment, don't panic, but do take action. First, check the payment schedule to make sure you're looking for the payment on the correct date. Remember that weekends and federal holidays can shift the schedule slightly. If your payment date falls on a weekend or holiday, the payment typically arrives on the business day before. Next, check your bank account or mailbox carefully. Sometimes direct deposits can take a few hours to show up in your account, especially if you're checking very early in the morning on your payment date. If you still don't see your payment after your scheduled date has passed and you've given it a full business day, then contact the SSA right away. They can investigate what happened and work to resolve the issue. The bottom line is this: March 2026, Social Security payments will be distributed according to the normal established schedule that's been in place for years. There's no credible reason to believe that seniors as a group won't receive their payments. The Social Security system is stable and continues to function as designed. Your benefits that you've earned through years of work are secure, and you can count on receiving them. Stay informed by getting your information from official, reliable sources like the SSA website and trusted news organizations. Protect yourself from scams by never giving out personal information to unsolicited callers or emailers. Keep your contact information and direct deposit details up to date with the SSA so there are no hiccups in receiving your payments. And if you ever have questions or concerns, reach out directly to the Social Security Administration, where real representatives can give you accurate information about your specific situation. You've earned these benefits, and they're going to keep coming to you month after month, including in March 2026. If you or a loved one relies on Social Security, you need to watch this video. There's a rumor going around right now that seniors won't receive their March 2026 Social Security check, and that kind of worry can steal your sleep at night. But here's what most headlines won't tell you. And if you miss this, you might be stressing over nothing. Stay with Michelle, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what's true, what's false, and when your payment is actually arriving. Before you leave, let Michelle say this from the heart. This channel exists for you, the individual who worked hard, contributed to the system, and deserves straightforward, honest information without fear tactics or complicated language. If Social Security is important to you, if you prefer truth instead of gossip, and if you need someone protecting your benefits like their family, smash that subscribe button right now. Michelle covers these issues for you.